Welcome to Jump Inside. This is where we give you a bit of an explainer about the things that you'll be introduced within the first few hours of a video game, and we're just basically going to be having the tutorial, so you'll just get a bit of a grasp of what this game has to offer. I'm not going to fully explain exactly what the task is. I'm a little bit confused with the story. Basically, I'm just here for the gameplay. Let's get into it. Oh my, it says the big old word server. You know what that means. This game's a big online server game. Yes, welcome to the game. Let's get started by choosing ourselves a nice little server.
Approach, prisoner.
Okay, so we begin going through this big empty room. Honestly, this room could do with some style, but you know what, I'm down for it. Why not?
Show yourself, child.
As we step forward into the light, and this is where we enter the character customization menu. Honestly, I quite like this character customization menu. It's not the best, it's not the worst, it's about just right, it's about in between. If you played games like Hogwarts Legacy, you're going to be very familiar with this because it's quite similar to that type of character customization menu, so yeah.
Where were you born?
I like this part. This part kind of reminds me of things like Dragon Age from back in the day where it's like, oh, what gender are you? Where's your race? What's your class? And what's your background? You tell a little bit of story about what yourself is before you even enter the game, so you got a bit of history. Okay, I'm going to cover the basic intro portion cinematic of this, but it's a bit long. If you want to skip, you're more than welcome to. Time codes are down below.
Come here. Kneel. Put your hand in the box.
And pull out the winning raffle ticket. I'm joking, I'm joking.
I hold at your neck the Gom Jabbar, the high-handed enemy. Don't pull away or you will die. Great plots are afoot in the Imperium, and the currents of intrigue run deeply. Arrakis is the key, and the Fremen are missing. You will go to Arrakis as our agent, prisoner. You have one task. Find the Fremen. Wake the sleeper. Everything depends on this. Do you understand?
No, not really, but do I get an option?
Good. You speak truth. But here is the rest of it. There is only one rule. Keep your hand in the box and live. Withdraw it and die. An animal would gnaw off its own hand to escape the pain. And we can only be served by humans. Find the Fremen. Wake the sleeper. You will know when it is done.
I just want to say how big this game feels when you enter this game. I mean, look at this thing. That is where you were at. Inside that, you're this tiny little thing inside that big thing. And then the planet is even bigger. This game really just tries to show you scale like no other. And it's really good at doing it. I mean, but apart from that, welcome to Dune. This is Dune Awakening. Okay, so this is where the game truly, properly begins. Welcome back to the other people now, so welcome back. If you press skip earlier on, welcome. And we're going to get this ship. I believe this is the ship that we're inside. This is going to get shot down now. And that's kind of the scale of this game. How just a rocket can shoot down an entire ship. That is fun. That is fun to know how much power this game has. And instead of dying, we get rescued by this guy who stares into our eyes and drags us into a cave where we awake and actually take control of our character properly. So the first thing that we do is we take a look at this lovely little cave, so we get to kind of experience the graphics of this properly. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not playing in the highest settings, and this already looks incredible. I love just running around and just seeing the walls and all that kind of stuff. It just kind of it kind of gives you just a show of what this game is capable of doing. You do start off by grabbing this backpack, which means this game is going to have kind of like a loot system that you'll be able to carry stuff inside your backpack on. Then it's going to teach you how to craft, because you have to get through a door. To do that, you need to craft a knife. And the crafting menu is quite simple. Basically, you choose the item you want to craft and you craft it. More games should be like this when it comes to crafting things. If you need material, obviously it tells you the material that's required. And on top of that, there's also the research that you can do as well, but we'll get into that a bit later. Next, we need to learn to stay hydrated. This planet will kill you, especially if you've got no hydration on you, so you need to be able to search your water and to be able to hydrate yourself. These particular plants that I'm at right now, these will fill up at least 1/3 of the meter, and it won't go any higher than 1/3. There'll be ways to get higher than this, but at the moment that 1 meter is what we're able to do, so we'll take what we can get. Also, to stop us from dying, we can also craft health kits as well. These will refill our health, and we can craft quite a lot of these. These are very simple materials to make, so you shouldn't have any issues with making sure that your character is healed up. The next thing that this game tells you to do is how to climb walls. It's going to be nice and simple. Basically, you go towards a wall, you hold the space button to forwardly attach yourself to the wall, and then you can press left control to release. It's quite simple. I don't think there's anything that it needs to be overly explained, except, you know, this game is going to allow you to climb things. When you exit the cave, you'll meet this guy who's standing on the cliff's edge. He's going to give you just a bit more information on the story.
So then, you're not quite dead. Now you will know a thing that few but the Fremen have seen. For many, the last thing they saw before they were slaughtered.
After some talking with this guy, and we're going to go into the full conversation, we are going to have to take something from this ship. Something from the captain particularly, so it's going to teach us to do a little bit of fighting and teach us about the sun. The sun will actually drain our hydration, so we got to not be in the sun for too long. To be fair though, that's not really going to affect us that much for this particular mission, because we can withstand the sun for a little bit, but getting into the ship should be quite fun. To get into the ship, we're going to need a Cutteray, which is going to be this item here. So we're going to equip this and use this to get inside the ship, which is nice and simple. What the Cutteray does is basically it scans particular rocks. Once it's scanned a rock, it will give a nice thin blue line. You cut across the nice thin blue line and the item will crumble, and you will be able to get what's inside and also pass through. Once you've passed the tutorial, you'll be using this tool quite a lot to mine rocks. That will come up just a bit later though. One of the things you're able to do when you're inside the ship is learn a bit of combat with some of the bad guys that are inside. My favourite is the quick attack, but there's also two other things you can do as well. One is to parry, and the other is also to do long attacks. Out of all three combat maneuvers, I found parrying possibly the more harder things to do, so I just stuck to do quick attacks and to do long attacks. The captain's wearing some type of necklace beacony thing around his neck. When you press it, it will beep, and that will pretty much sum up the tutorial, and you'll be left to your own. This is where the game really starts taking place. You're given this big open world plot of sand to explore. This is an MMO, so there will be other people around. However, you might not bump into them straight away because you're kind of in the beginning stages of this area. So basically, climb things, mine things, and do what the top left marker says to learn as much about this game as possible. This game is going to be massive. I don't want to go over this too much, but after you've basically done the tutorial, it will just show you a little bit of how research is done. So basically, you go to the research tab at the top, and you select the item that you want to research, and then you'll be able to craft that item. Also, on top of that, there's also a skill tree. You'll be able to put skills on as you progress in this game, so you get all that type of stuff. Anyway, that's all I'm going to cover for this game. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully that gave you just a bit of an introduction of what you'll be stepping into. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy watching, or if you have got this game and want to leave any handy comments, then write them down in the comments below, and I'll go have a read of them. Anyway, thanks, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye. Hey, thank you so much for watching, and I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy the video, then please don't forget to consider to like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on another Jump Inside video. Goodbye.